Well, back from another wild and crazy week in the National Football League, Big D with a Week 10 recap. Before I bring in Alice, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. See all my content. World Cup coming up, starting up this weekend with Qatar against Ecuador. So can't wait to see that. Also, check out the Big D podcast for all your audio listeners on Spotify and Apple. So back from running with cheetahs, waterling with penguins, and swimming with dolphins. You know who it is. Alex.
Thank you, Dylan. Of course, lovely to be here as always. Thank you for the great introduction. You mentioned it. I cannot wait for the World Cup coming up. It is one of the most exciting times that you can ask for as a soccer fan. So I'm very excited for that. But today we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the ridiculous Week 10 of the NFL season, which, as we all know, unless you were sleeping under a rock this weekend, the game of the year of the season so far went.
Yeah, the Vikings and the Bills.
Yeah.
How about that game? I mean, the only thing that would have made that game better is if it had taken place in a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You can't ask for anything more than what happened in that football game, unless you're a Bills fan.
Well, talk about How about the team that originated the Minneapolis Miracle? I mean, the Vikings were down 27-10. Then all of a sudden, Dalvin Cook broke off an 81-yard touchdown. You're like, this is not going to happen again, right?
Oh, it did. It did, and it happened to our wildest imagination. The first thing we have to talk about is Justin Jefferson, man. I mean,
Wait, I've got a question. Is Justin Jefferson's catch better than Odell Beckham's against the Cowboys a few years ago?
I knew this was coming. I knew you were going to ask this. Here's what I have to say about it. The only thing in my mind that makes Odell Beckham's catch better is that it was for a touchdown. I think Justin Jefferson's catch was the better catch. I mean, Odell's was ridiculous. I mean, you're comparing two of the most insane plays we've ever seen in the NFL, and Odell Beckham's just falling backwards with the PI. You know, I think considering he had the pass interference and it was for a touchdown, I think it has the slight edge. But man, I think it's almost impossible for me to choose because, man, that Justin Jefferson catch was just absolutely ridiculous.
Jefferson made the harder catch because not only was it game deciding, but there was Bill's defensive back literally wrapping the ball. Like,
Yeah.
how do you catch the ball, keep the other guy from knocking the ball because if the ball hits the turf, it's finito.
And he took it from him with one hand. I mean, it was unbelievable. At the moment, I said that was when I saw it happen live. I said it was better than Odell's. I mean, they both are amazing plays, and I think you have a strong case either side. But it was absolutely just insane.
And my second question to you, Alex, is what the heck happened by that one goal line? Because the Bills stopped the Vikings on four with the goal line standing there, and everybody in Western New York thought the Bills won the game. And all of a sudden, Josh Allen fumbles on the goal line. The Vikings pick it up, and get a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. And honestly, the exact thing that happened in that game is exactly what I was hoping was going to happen to the New England Patriots after Russell Wilson got intercepted at the 1 yard line when they should have given the ball to Marshawn Lynch. I was praying for a fumbled snap by Tom Brady in that Super Bowl when they had that ball at the 1 yard line and giving the Seahawks a possible chance to win that Super Bowl. But that didn't happen. Obviously, today I was praying for a similar situation and it got done. It's just it's tough, man. When you're back down to your own half-foot line, 1 yard line. I mean, those are some big bodies coming at you, and high pressure situation. You've got to make sure that snap gets clean. It didn't, and it's still an open ball game after if that if Buffalo recovers that and goes down to the safety, then you've got a whole nother situation going on in the game. Just the fact that the Vikings recover it in the end zone, got the touchdown. I mean, it's just, you can't write this kind of stuff. A movie director couldn't have come up with something like this script. I want to know.
Might the Bills have been better off taking a safety and just having a free kick from the 20-yard line?
I mean, there's so many different ways you can go about the situation. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying take the safety. In my mind, it's hard to voluntarily give up points and give the ball back to the other team. I think when you've got the Buffalo Bills offense, we know how capable the Buffalo Bills offense is. You have to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands in that situation. You can't be giving points away in the NFL, let alone possession of the ball, no matter how much time is left on the clock. The Vikings, Justin Jefferson has been having the game of his life. I mean, you can't. I wouldn't have agreed with the safety call there. I think they made the right decision. It just didn't. I know from you, Dylan, is the Buffalo Bills had a chance in overtime to win this football game, and Josh Allen throws an interception. Are you concerned about what you're seeing from Josh Allen lately? Because over the last 4 weeks, one of them was a bye week for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills in their last 3 games have not scored a second half touchdown. And Josh Allen, over the course of the 2022 NFL season, is leading the league in interceptions. Are you nervous about what you're seeing out of Buffalo and Josh Allen right now?
Yes, because when Josh Allen came into the NFL, he could throw the ball 90 yards. The problem was he made way too many mistakes. Well, the last couple of years with Brian Dabool was his offensive coordinator, Josh Allen didn't make those mistakes. We remember 9 touchdowns, no interception in the playoffs. But there have been way too many mistakes. The Bills are still way too reliant on Josh Allen, basically running, throwing. And I don't know what Josh Allen was doing yesterday. I mean, after his first interception, he's tackling all of a sudden like he's Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you even trying to tackle them?
I mean, he's built like a linebacker. He's just playing. He's fortunately for him, he can throw the ball 80 yards, so they got him at the quarterback position. But
why are you even trying to tackle somebody? Get out of the way. You're not paid to tackle people.
Yeah, but I think you nailed it with the Brian Daboll mention. I mean, Brian Daboll is a heck of an offensive coordinator. He's a heck of a head coach, as we've been seeing with the New York Giants. And I mean, it's just I definitely have to agree with you on the fact that the Buffalo Bills do not look as dominant as we've seen them looking over the past couple seasons with Josh Allen as their quarterback. Now, all of a sudden, you lose Brian Daboll. He goes to the New York Giants. What are the New York Giants doing? All of a sudden, a team who a lot of people expected to be in the cellar of the NFL this season, looking like one of the strongest teams in the NFC behind the Eagles. I mean, unfortunately for them, they're in the same division as the undefeated Eagles, or else they'd be winning their division right now. So it's just, it's a testament to Brian Daboll and how good of a coach he is. I mean, I wanted him in Miami before the wheels really started rolling with the Mike McDaniel stuff, and obviously I'm thrilled about how that situation unfolded. But you have to be worried if you're a Buffalo Bills fan right now. You're third in the AFC East. I mean, it's something that's definitely correctable, and it's something that they can. Obviously, Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They've got one of the most powerful offenses in the NFL, but they're not perfect, and we've seen this season that they are definitely beatable. And it's not a cakewalk to the Super Bowl for these Buffalo Bills that some people thought it might have been.
Quickly, Alex, like the 1 or 2 words here. Is Minnesota destined to win every close game? Because last year the Vikings couldn't win a close game, and this year the Vikings are 7-0 in close games.
I mean, quickly, yes. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins. That's really all I got to say about that. You throw TJ Hawkinson in the mix. They've got the weapons to be able to pull out these victories. So, short answer, yes, absolutely.
Don't forget Adam Thielen.
Of course. But let's move on. We could spend an entire show talking about that game. There's so much there to unpack, but I think we definitely hit the high notes. I want to move on to another very impressive comeback win that we saw this weekend. The Green Bay Packers, the probably the most surprising on the bad side of things team in the NFL, were able to pull out a victory against the Dallas Cowboys in overtime after being down 14 points in the fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers looks like he might have found a new favorite target. Is that what you're seeing in Green Bay over there, Dylan?
Yeah, Christian Watson, not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns yesterday. About time the Packers have a wide receiver catch pass. But, to be honest, the story of the game is not Green Bay, it's what Dallas couldn't do. The Cowboys were up 28-14 and couldn't hold on.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys disappoint me every time in big game after big game against not necessarily good teams, but better quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's a good quarterback, but is he Aaron Rodgers? No. Is he Tom Brady? No. Is he Patrick Mahomes? No. Is he Joe Burrow? No. The Cowboys always disappoint me. And second, Cowboys wasted a great game from Tony Pollard. Cowboys wasted a great game from CeeDee Lamb. But to be honest, what were the Cowboys doing yesterday? Why isn't your best defensive player, Parsons, rushing the quarterback more? And secondly, how do the Cowboys let Green Bay run for 207 yards when everybody and their mama knew the Packers were going to run the ball down your throats?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's definitely the Dallas Cowboys more in the losing category of that game than really the Green Bay Packers winning. I mean, I still have to give credit to the Green Bay Packers. It is about time that they had someone step up in that offense because we've been saying it all season long. I mean, obviously Aaron Rodgers is an immaculate talent at the quarterback position, but you get rid of a guy like Devontae Adams and you need someone to step up, and they hadn't had that happen. Finally, Aaron Jones steps up. Even A.J. Dillon had a five-yard average on the ground, only 65 yards, but Aaron Jones was running so hard, you can't be surprised about it. And then obviously Christian Watson with the four reception, 107-yard, 3-touchdown day. Finally, the Green Bay Packers had someone step up and help out Aaron Rodgers. And it's definitely been a rough season for the Green Bay Packers. It's definitely been a season that is one to quickly forget and ideally for them move on from and learn from. But finally, they got a little bit of hope, a little bit of fight in that team. And they were able to pull off an impressive comeback because, honestly, the Dallas Cowboys should have won that football game. They should have been able to beat a very struggling Green Bay Packers team, especially with a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. So I would say yes, the Cowboys definitely took their foot off the gas. They, I don't know if they just expected Aaron. I mean, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is having a bad season, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. You still have to give him the credit and the respect that he deserves to go out there and make sure you finish off that football game. So, like you said, a wasted game from some of those stars on the Cowboys, and fortunately for Packers fans, they were able to have some guys step up and really be able to seal the deal. So,
well, a lot of people were interested in this game because it was Mike McCarthy's homecoming, and there was one decision which intrigued the whole footballing country yesterday. It wasn't overtime. Tie game at 28. It was 4th and 5, I think it was, from the Green Bay 35-yard line, and he went for it instead of kicking a 52-yard field goal. Should Mike McCarthy have gone for the field goal or the first down?
I mean, it's an answer that we see or it's a question we see all the time in the NFL. You're always going to get into these analytical situations, and you really just have to go with what you're feeling at the moment. The numbers can only tell you so much. The analytics can only tell you so much. If I'm confident in my offense, as a Miami Dolphins fan, to say right now, the Miami Dolphins on 3rd and 4th down are efficient. They get the ball in their playmakers. They are able to. Mike McDaniel is not afraid to go for it from midfield, from the 40, from his own 40 even. It's about your confidence, and it's about being able to dial up a play that will be successful. And I will never knock a head coach who's going for the throat and going for the win in a situation where it can drastically change the outcome of the game. You get that first down, you march down the field, you win the game. you don't get it, you still have an opportunity for your defense to get the ball back, make a stop, and win it. So I will never, if a coach is feeling confident in his play calling and his players that he has on the field, I'm really never going to be overly upset about the decision to go for it. But at the end of the day, a 52-yard field goal, you have to have confidence in your kicker to be able to make it at the end of the day as well. So, it's always situational. There's never, I never think there's a right or wrong answer in that situation. But if you're confident, like I said, in your play calling and the players you have on the field, I'm not going to knock you for going for it there.
It was not only the right decision, it was the only decision the Cowboys made. You don't give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers. And plus, 50-yard field goal in Green Bay, trust me, it's not like kicking a 50-yarder in Miami or in a dome.
Yeah.
I think that, and plus, the Cowboys didn't stop Aaron Rodgers the whole fourth quarter. What's to say they're going to stop him anyway?
Exactly.
You have a chance to win the game, do it. This is why you paid Dak Prescott $40 million. This is why you have CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard.
Especially with the Green Bay Packers having all of the momentum at that time. I mean, you're down 14 points in the fourth quarter. You send it into overtime. The Green Bay Packers have every ounce of momentum in that football game. You have to be able to do something to turn the tides in your favor. So, I agree with you. Like I said, you got to put the ball in the hands of the players who can make it happen. And, it's the decision he went with. And, unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboys, it didn't pay off. They didn't end up getting the victory. But, again, it's like you said, you're going against Aaron Rodgers. Not only are you going against Aaron Rodgers, but you're going up against Aaron Rodgers, who's finally on the right side of a football game. You have to keep your offense on the field in that situation.
Hello, you play to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let me see. Any last notes on the little Packers Green Bay? Packers Dallas.
Seems like every Dallas Green Bay game turns into a classic one way or another.
You're not wrong about that. They're two storied franchises. They're some of the original franchises in the NFL. You're always asking for something good there. Okay. I guess we will move on to the third and final game of the slate that we will be talking about today. You can call him Jeff Saturday. I like to call him Jeff Sunday because Jeff Saturday stepped in his very first head coaching game, not only in college, not only in the NFL, it's really his first head coaching game ever. And the Indianapolis Colts go down and get the job done against the Las Vegas Raiders. We have a new head coach in Indianapolis, or is that a little bit of an overreaction Monday? And are the Raiders really that bad?
I think Jeff Saturday might be the overreaction Monday candidate of the year, but to me, the big story is what's happening with the Las Vegas Raiders. Did you say Oakland Raiders?
There's a good chance I might have.
Oh, come on, man.
My fault.
I'll let this one off the hook, but
Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers
and the St. Louis Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, the Raiders and Broncos have been so disappointing this year. And last year, the Raiders were so good in one possession games. Literally everything went for them, particularly after Gruden was gone. But this year, Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, and Devontae Adams have not turned lemons into lemonade. They've turned lemonade into sour grapes.
Absolutely.
The Raiders have been bad, and yesterday, do you realize the Colts ran for 207 yards? Matt Ryan looking like he's Justin Fields out there.
Yeah, I know that 39-yard run. It's like seeing Tom Brady start taking off for a run. Everyone's been knocking Matt Ryan so hard for just how fragile he has looked in the pocket this season. So to see him take off, it wasn't pretty, but he did what he had to do to make sure he got that football down the field. So that was impressive. I will say that.
And by the way, where has the Raider pass rush gone? I mean, I thought Matt Crosby could rush the quarterback. Where have you gone? I know he picked up a sack yesterday, but where have the Raiders defensive linemen gone this year? They're going nowhere.
You're right.
The Colts couldn't catch a cold in Alaska.
How about the Raiders in the first quarter? -9 net yards passing. You trade for Devontae Adams in the offseason. You have Derek Carr. You really reunite them. I think Derek Carr, he's not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I think he's upper mid tier. But -9 yards net passing in the first quarter. I mean, obviously,
with an offensive minded head coach.
exactly. And speaking of their offensive minded head coach, I think Josh McDaniels might be the worst head coach in the NFL currently.
I can think of one. I think of one worse.
I mean, maybe, but he's definitely. I mean, there's probably not two worse, if I have to say. My cousin's a big Patriots fan, and he's been telling me for the longest time that Josh McDaniels should be nowhere near a head coaching spot in the NFL. And honestly, I don't think he is as successful as a lot of people might think he is as an offensive coordinator. I think I almost said Mike McDaniel. That would have been bad. Josh McDaniels is drowning in Las Vegas at the moment, or burning up in the Vegas desert, because he just looks completely uncut out for the weapons he has, for the talent because the Raiders have talent on their team. Josh Jacobs, especially at the beginning of the season, was looking, I mean, he's had a better season than Jonathan Taylor had. You look at the running backs in that game yesterday. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor broke that really nice long run, but I mean, over the course of the season, you tell me. I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year, by week 10, would you rather have Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor on your fantasy team? And Josh Jacobs is the answer. It's unbelievable. I would have called you a gigantic liar. But I mean, you bring in Devontae Adams, you have Darren Waller, who has been obviously hurt throughout the year, but still ineffective when he's been on the field. It's just been bad, and worse for those Las Vegas Raiders, man.
I'll say this: I think Josh McDaniels and Nathaniel Hackett could be on the script, and I don't mean coaching. I mean literally gone by the end of the year.
Absolutely. I mean, we were calling this AFC West division the best division in football before we kicked off, and that's why you play the games. Because I mean, the Raiders are sitting at 2-7, and it is not looking good for that division. It is not looking good for the Raiders. And I mean, there's not really much else you can say about it. It's just been disappointing. They've got the Broncos next week, a division matchup with Russell Wilson. I mean,
oh gosh.
Seahawks after that, Chargers, Rams, Patriots, Steelers. I can't confidently pick the Raiders in any of those football games.
You know what? I may just redact the Raiders and Broncos from here on out.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's probably not the game I'm going to be tuned into on Sunday. And the Dolphins are on bye, so I've got a pretty open slate, but I don't think I'm going to be watching Raiders Broncos. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think I might watch Cowboys Vikings.
There you go.
All right. I have been waiting for this rant for a while.
Oh, Dylan, you and me both, buddy.
Well, I think we should do it, Alex, but for today's rant, Alex and I are going to debate quarterback rankings with three young stars, that being Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears, Justin Herbert of the LA Chargers, and somebody you might be familiar with.
Yeah. Why don't you say his name?
No, I'm not going to say his name.
I think the man you're speaking of is Tua Tagovailoa. And Dylan, please, I would love if you go first. So I have the beautiful opportunity to rebuke the absolute monstrosity of a statement you're about to make, because you've messaged me this before we started this episode. Please go ahead and give the people your top 3 ranking of these 3 quarterbacks, and I will try to listen.
Unfortunately, Alex, I won the coin toss, and you're first.
All right. That's fine with me. Top 3 quarterbacks: Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Fields, and Justin Herbert. Number 3 spot. Dylan, when you proposed this question to me, it took me about 4 seconds to know what I was going to say, because it's an obvious order, and it's an obvious list, and anyone who says differently is completely wrong. Number 3 is Justin Fields. The man can run like no one's ever seen, other than maybe Lamar Jackson, but he is not a passing quarterback. The point of playing quarterback in the NFL is to be able to move the ball in the air down the field. Justin Fields is a remarkable runner, but his passing statistics over the season have been nothing short of embarrassing as a starting quarterback in the NFL. We're going to be debating this throughout the entire time, so I'm just going to move ahead to number 2, Justin Herbert. Obviously, his receiving core has been banged up severely with injuries this season, but the biggest problem I have with Justin Herbert is him in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line. Justin Herbert does not have a clutch bone in his body. The amount of game-throwing interceptions that I see Justin Herbert throw. He threw a pick 6 against Miami, I believe his rookie year, when Tua beat Justin Herbert in their rookie year matchup. He did it again on Sunday. I mean, his arm got hit, yes, but it was a horrible throw. Yes, his arm got hit, but at the end of the day, he didn't drive his team down with the opportunity with the game on the line. He is a talented quarterback. He's a gunslinger. He's got tremendous potential. I'm not saying Justin Herbert's a bad quarterback, but the number 1 quarterback on this list is Tua Tagovailoa, and it's not even close, Dylan. Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback in the NFL statistically throughout 10 weeks of the NFL season. He is. I don't even know why I even have to argue this. Over his last 3 games against the Browns, Bears, and Lions, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 interceptions, 0 interceptions, 137.5 rating, 135.7 rating, 138.7 rating. Tua Tagovailoa is the first player in NFL history to have 135+ passer rating in 3 consecutive games with minimum 30 attempts per game. I'm just giving you the numbers because anything I say apparently isn't going to be good enough for you, Dylan. He's having a record-breaking year. You can tell me that it's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. He was throwing to Trent Sherfield and Alec Ingold yesterday. It doesn't matter. He is moving the ball at a ridiculous rate. His passer rating, his accuracy, his deep ball. Tua Tagovailoa has blossomed into a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, and I don't even think he's 3, Dylan. Tua Tagovailoa, right now, and you're going to laugh when I say this, but it's the truth. Tua Tagovailoa is the NFL MVP at this moment in the season, and it's not even
crap.
It's between Tua and Mahomes, and I think Tua has the edge when you talk about most valuable player, valuable to the team. The Miami Dolphins with Tua are 6-0. Without Tua, they're 0-3. Tua's 14-1 in his last 15 games. It's not even up for debate. Tua is the best of these 3 quarterbacks, and he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL right now.
I think you're full of bull crap, homie.
I think you're blind.
I've got
Let the people listen to what you have to say so that they can drag you in the comments.
Yes, Alex, I looked at the stats into his leading the league in pass rating, 3rd down, 4th quarter, red zone, yards per 10. But whatever. But to be honest, Tua is number 3 on the list, and it was very easy. I look at Tua. He can't throw the ball down the field. He can't move the ball like the other 2 guys. I look more at upside, and Tua doesn't have the same upside as Fields or Herbert. I think this is Tua's peak. I don't think Tua's going to be this good for this long. He's got a great left tackle, the fastest wide receiver in NFL history in Tyreek Hill, an unbelievable possession wide receiver in Jalen Waddle. Who does Justin Fields have as his wide receivers? He's got Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, and Cole Kmet. Who did Justin Herbert have in LA last night? Joshua Palmer and DeAndre Carter. There's a reason why Justin Fields is maybe one of the most exciting players. Who set the NFL regular season rushing yard record for a quarterback? It wasn't Tua. was Justin Fields. And yesterday, he darn near broke the record. Wait a year. Justin Fields is Jalen Hurts 2.0. Give the Bears another year to get the offensive line, get some wide receivers, and I will bet you Justin Fields will be as good, if not better than Tua. Plus, Tua's got an unfair advantage playing half his games in Miami. Justin Fields is playing in Lambeau and Chicago where it's 15 degrees.
It's horrible. That's horrible. In August and September, it's 15 degrees. Justin Fields ran for record-breaking rushing yards in the last 2 games against the Lions and the Dolphins.
Thank you. Enough said. Thank you. You just made my point.
Except not enough said, because you know what else happened in both of those games, Dylan? The Chicago Bears lost the football game. The Chicago Bears lost the football game. At the end of the day, you can run for 275 yards as a quarterback, but you are a quarterback. Your job is to throw the ball. Yes, rushing is great. It's a fantastic bonus attribute to have to a quarterback, but I don't care who your receivers are. These are NFL caliber athletes. These aren't scrubs from McDonald's or Walmart throwing on a Bears uniform. Darnell Mooney can catch the football. Cole Kmet can catch the football. Justin Fields has thrown for over 200 yards passing once this entire season. Tua Tagovailoa has a 6-touchdown, 450-yard game on his record this season. It's not even a conversation. Tua Tagovailoa is a winner. He is 14-1 in his last 15 football games, Dylan. You're telling me you want a quarterback who can break rushing records? You want a quarterback who can win games, put your team in. I don't care who his receivers are. Yes, having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is nice, but he was showing glimpses of this his first 2 seasons. He has just blossomed, and you got to remember his rookie season, he was coming off a potentially career-ending injury, as well as learning the speed of NFL defenses, understanding a new NFL offense. It's not even close. It's not even close. I take Tua over Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert last season had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I know what you're going to say to this, but he also had Austin Eckler. Miami hasn't even had a run game. They've been fortunate that Miami has a hot hand plug and play run system. They have a game plan, but if another running back is feeling hot, they're going to give him the ball. Justin Herbert has had Austin Eckler his entire career. You know how beneficial it is to have a solid running game to set up your pass, and the Chargers still can't make the playoffs. And I know that their head coach was terrible last season, but the head coach isn't on the field. Justin Herbert is on the field, and what's Justin Herbert doing? He's throwing game-losing interceptions at the end of the games while Tua Tagovailoa is winning them.
I've got one quickly. Tua or Lamar?
Tua.
Lamar. I'm telling you, if Justin Herbert gets Sean Payton with those weapons next year, he will win the MVP. Book it.
I'm taking Tua over Josh Allen right now. Right now. I'm not saying career. I'm just saying right now I'm taking Tua over Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is the only quarterback in the NFL right now who is debatable number 1 over Tua. The numbers speak for themselves. The win-loss speaks for themselves. There's the disrespect that Tua Tagovailoa gets in the media is so frustrating because he's a nice guy. He's got character. He's a guy you want to root for. And for whatever reason, people love to see him fail, but he's just proven them wrong. And I love it. And I can't wait for the Miami Dolphins to win a playoff game this season and send me to the Super Bowl, baby. Send me to the Super Bowl.
All right, Alex. So that was the spiciest rant I have ever heard from either one of us. So thanks for hopping on. We'll let you might need a bye after that rant.
I sure do, Dylan. And we got the Houston Texans coming up afterwards.
You got 2 byes. You got 2 byes.
We got 2 byes. We're going to drop 50 on the Texans, and then we got a little bit harder of a schedule coming up after that. But the Miami Dolphins are ready for it, baby.